Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Dorset Medium Dark Sky Friendly Outdoor Wall Sconce. This is going to be the 305202. There's also two other sizes of this, as well as a Dorset post light and a Dorset hanging fixture. Check them all out if you get a chance. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself. 22.7 inches tall, 11.2 inches wide. Projection coming out from the wall is coming out at 13.3. Backplate, that's going to be the part that goes on your 4-inch junction box. This is what you guys have, is coming in at 10.4 by 6, so it's a good size. And the mounting height, that's the distance from the bottom of the fixture to the middle of the electrical outlet box, is coming in at 9.5. So let's take a look at a little bit more information about that. How we're going to do it is we're going to look at the installations instructions now. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to show you a full parts list, how everything goes together, but it's going to show you some really good schematic drawings, line drawings of the back of this fixture, the back plate, and kind of looking at it the other way that you don't see in a photograph, so you get a chance to see what it all looks like from the back and how it goes on your junction box. Take advantage of that if you can. Why don't we touch on glass on this really quick? So you're going to have two options in your pull-down menu. It says choose your glass. One of them is going to be Hubbardton Forge's opal glass, and that's a white opaque glass. I'll talk more about that later in the video. And then there's also another one called seeded clear. So seeded clear is going to be a clear glass, has little air bubbles in it, and you know, when you use different glass on these fixtures and different finishes on these fixtures, you can kind of tweak what they look like as far as going from contemporary to very traditional. So you can kind of play designer, which is a really nice thing that you can do. We'll talk more about the dark sky friendly part of this also later in the video, because there's a lot of information on that. So why don't we talk about a couple other quick things. So if you're in the sunny state of California and you are pulling permits for new construction or renovation, and the nice building inspector person is coming down to see you, you might be wanting this. So we do this by special order through our customs department. This would be a GU24 socket taking a GU24 bulb, has a little prongs on top, which does not let you use an incandescent bulb. So it kind of locks you into what's called California Title 24 compliancy. And that would be mostly for new building renovations, always if you're pulling permits. So you can talk to us about that. You just email us and say you're looking at a 305202 and you want to get a quote on California Title 24 compliant. Now if you're not pulling permits, don't worry about it, because you can just use a screw-in LED. It's not a problem. Okay? Leading us to what's going to be going on inside of this, and kind of like what makes it dark sky friendly versus not dark sky friendly, right? So you have this medium base socket pointing down, which kind of helps in the dark sky part of this. But if you're going to have a dark sky friendly fixture, you don't want light going up and you don't want light going out. It has to be facing down, so there's no light pollution going up. And that puts you here. So this is a PAR 20 LED. Okay. If you want to stick with incandescent, you can actually do that. They make these in halogens too, and I think you have a 75 watt max if you want to go there. But you know what? You don't have to, because there's so many great LED versions of this. And this is a PAR 20. They come a little bigger as well. 75 watt max, if there is such a thing, but there really isn't. So this is, you know, there's so many lumens that come out of an LED with very little electricity going into it, so you're good to go there. There's no max except can I get the bulb into the actual fixture itself. So like I said before, they make these larger, and this is what you would use to stay within the compliance for dark sky friendly. So if you're not worried about that and you're not into the dark sky stuff and no one's making you do it, you can put whatever you want in this, as far as incandescent 75 watt max or LEDs. And there's lots of LEDs that can fit into this fixture. And you can get a lot of light out of this need be. So if you need to, you know, put light out into the yard to find your dog, or around your garage, or on the front door, all of that, lots of these things are going to fit. This is a traditional, these two actually are traditional A19 bulbs, and that gets in there fine. This will fit in there as well. This is an A21. I can find these bulbs up to 100 watt equivalent easily, pretty easily. Sometimes when you get in that high up, you kind of go for a specialty bulb site, or like Walmart.com or HomeDepot.com, but Amazon always has them at 100 watt equivalent if you want to go that high. Now if you want to go with these guys, I would probably definitely go for Amazon or one of those like 1001 bulbs, and I can find these at a 150 watt equivalent or a 200 watt equivalent. I have found these bulbs at a 300 watt equivalent out there when I was looking in the past. And they're going to offer these bulbs to you in all kinds of different ways. They're going to offer them to you in a kind of a sunlight, setting sun look, and that's 2700 Kelvin. That's the light coming out of it. That's very yellow. And that would be very pretty in this. So, you know, if I was doing this sconce and I was doing it in the clear glass, I might go for a bulb kind of like this, and I might go for 2700 Kelvin because I'm probably going to be doing a more traditional look, and that gives you that kind of candlelight idea. Now, on the other side of that, if I needed a ton of light out of this and I was going to get a little bit more contemporary, you know, you could still do the phosphorus bulb like this. That's the clear ones that have these orange things inside. But I would probably go, I wouldn't go what's called daylight. And daylight is that bluish white light like a convenience store. That's 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin. Not a big fan of that, but I'm a big fan of warm white, soft white, and that's the bulb above us putting down this warm white, soft white 3,000 Kelvin light. This has the same warmth of an incandescent bulb, looks great, and does all the things I want it to do. If you're going to be putting this on a screened-in porch and you're going to hang out with your friends or maybe around a deck in a pool late into the evening, you can dim this fixture down without any problem. It's fully dimmable. Just make sure you pick up a dimmable LED light bulb. Let's talk about for a second the differences between dark sky friendly and dark sky compliant lighting fixtures. So in the United States, there's actually a private corporation called the International Dark Sky Association that owns the rights and the trademark to the entire dark sky compliancy issue. Not only do they set the limits and the specifications about what fixtures can be dark sky compliant, but they charge lighting manufacturers for the right to use their certification and certificate on their fixtures. Hubbardton Forge manufactures their dark sky friendly fixtures to the exact same specifications as if they were going to be dark sky compliant. They just choose not to pay for that lighting certificate from Dark Sky International. So if you're going in front of a HOA, like a homeowners association, maybe a zoning administrator, someplace that is going to require dark sky certificates for your lighting that you need to purchase for your project, you might want to come to us first and ask for the data sheets. The data sheets are going to show that these are dark sky, well, made to the same specifications of dark sky compliant, just not using that certificate. So you can take those to the board or whoever you're going to be seeing before you order your fixtures, which is a very good idea, and you can be well armed with the correct data to present to them. I want to touch base on Hubbardton Forge's opal glass for just a second. So all of Hubbardton Forge's glass to begin with is going to be hand blown. This piece is hand blown first in clear, then they're going to come in and they're going to blow another layer of white glass on the inside of this. The third step is they're going to take and they're going to sandblast the whole thing on the inside and the outside. That's going to give you this beautiful, mellow, translucent, milky piece of glass. When you look at this and you can see the layers are actually piled up on the inside of this. Hubbardton Forge is very obsessed about details on all of their pieces, including their glass, and that's why you're here, because you're probably just as obsessed about little details as well. Hubbardton Forge only uses aircraft-grade aluminum to make their outdoor fixtures. Aluminum holds up the best in incredibly harsh environments. When you're out and you look up in the sky and you see all those jet airliners running around up there, those are all made out of aluminum for a reason. And part of that reason is it holds up great, like I said. It also forges beautifully. It holds finish beautifully. It doesn't rust. Remember that. It's very important. And they're virtually indestructible when they're all finished. So how Hubbardton does it is they take the fixture itself, they're going to wire it up at the top, they're going to put a wire at the bottom, they're going to send a current of electricity that's going to go through this fixture, making it positive, and they put it into a spray booth with a picture of the woman next to me. You can see she's spraying finish around it, and because it's positive, it's going to adhere to every nook, every cranny, the top, the bottom, the whole thing. After that, they're going to take this and they're going to move it into an oven. That oven is going to melt all of that down and create a very hard shell. So it makes it, again, virtually indestructible. So they've also tested these things in these wind chambers. So they take the fixture, all covered in that epoxy powder coat. It's going to go into that chamber. They're going to shoot salty seawater at it at high velocity for hours and hours and hours, just like you were at the beach and you have like a hurricane coming in, which to me is going to be pretty much the worst environment you're going to run into. So after they tested these and found out that they hold up incredibly well, Hubbardton Forge offers basically the best warranty in the lighting industry. And you can see that on the page for this. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's a link, and click on that, and it'll show you the entire warranty and how it all works. Okay, showroom. Our showroom in Vermont has over 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures. This is the biggest showroom in the world of Hubbardton Forge. No other showroom is like this. Hubbardton Forge doesn't even have their own showroom. They use this one. What's on display? We have a great tab on that. And those same red tabs, you're going to see a what's on display page. So open that up. It's going to show you everything we have on display, and including which finish, which shade, all of those things, and what kind of glass it's on there. We're open every day except Sunday, 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have an amazing clearance center. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued stuff, showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. Can't call us or email us about it, but it's definitely worth coming in to look at if you're in Vermont. Plus you want to use the showroom anyway because there's just so much great stuff here to see. Our number in Vermont, 802-446-2400. You can email us 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Love to answer emails, and it's sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. So when you order from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is going to be free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. And we're the only dealer with 90-day returns, no restocking fee. Nobody else does that. Some larger items are going to be non-returnable. It's going to be really important that you are looking at the fixture on that page and kind of scroll down under the description. It'll tell you if that is the case. And that's usually for really big, giant, huge fixtures, mostly that go out on pallets. Okay, that's it. Rush program. Let's talk about that. So rush program, Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to go out the door. That's production time before your transit time. You always have to add that on too. We offer a rush program that takes you from that 3 to 4 weeks down to a little under 2 weeks. It's a very small addition per line item. So if you have like 1, 2, 3 items, like let's say 3 or 4 outdoor sconces, and they're all the same size and they're all the same finish, that's one line item. So it's very inexpensive to rush those kind of things. Don't be afraid to email us and ask about that. Okay, so that's really it. If you guys have any other questions, let us know. We would love to see you in our showroom sometime. And thanks for stopping in.